Hey gang, I am sitting here trying to make up a gasket, and for very specific reasons. So this is my Weimars, actually it's a 6200, whatever. I am going to try and adapt a Husqvarna 254 XP cylinder onto this thing. The 254 XP had a 34 millimeter stroke. This thing has a 34 millimeter stroke. The 254 XP had a 45 millimeter bore. This thing is supposed to have 47.5, but it actually has a 45 millimeter bore. But that's not important. The important thing is this right here, the 34 millimeter stroke combined with the 45 millimeter bore is pretty much the perfect combination for making the maximum displacement for the 55cc class at Sawfest. And I am wondering, could I make this thing competitive? I don't know. So my first step here, I bought a Chinese clone, or a Chinese cylinder to try. It is the closed port 254. A lot of people really like the 254. All right. This thing gets its impulse straight from the case right there. I had to remove this nipple. This nipple went down in the case. And so I took that out because otherwise this sits right down on and it's actually hitting that nipple. So that's in the way. I don't know. I might be able to get away with utilizing it, but for now I just removed it. The bolt pattern is extremely close. So without further ado, let's show you how I plan on making a gasket and the reason I'll be making a gasket. So we're going to take this is the gasket for the 254. I don't have the gasket for the Weimars because I already took it off and tossed it. There it is. There's my pencil. So we're just going to get to cutting. Get in there. Here's the Weimars setup. What we have is our transfer punch right here. Hole number one in place. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom. Put one of the bolts in there to hold it in place. Hole number two. Now that transfer punch is pretty much exactly the size of the hole. And so it's cutting this gasket material really nicely. And the reason we are doing this is because now we have a pattern to see what we need to do on the 254 cylinder. Not much at all. Not much. Just a little bit here and there. So I'll oblong these holes. The skirt is going to center itself up on the case nicely. So we just gonna mark that best we can. I'll take my time off camera and actually see where we want it to be. But yeah, I'll mark it with a magic marker and just use my rotary tool to clean it out and see if we can get it to mount on there. Okay, so I got it all set up. It'll go right on there, and I've been trying to mess with the carburetor setup, see how I'm going to work that out. This right here ain't going to work. Can't fit that on there like I was hoping, you know. But we'll get the intake figured out, see what we're going to do. This is currently what we're looking at. What we have going on right here is the 254 XP cylinder, the 254 XP intake block, the Weimars carburetor, and a 371 XP air filter boot. So, but it goes right on there, and my bolt holes line up. We're good to go, and we're going to be able to make this work. We just got to figure out what we got to do from here. And what we will have is this hodgepodge mix mash of Chinese Zenoah clone saw and Husqvarna 254 XP, which should be a pretty hot little number, you know. I mean, or at least I think I can make it a hot little number. 34 millimeter stroke on a 50 cc class saw is nice, and that's very nice. I mean, the 34 millimeter stroke went all the way up to 372 XP. Hey babe, the steel MS 361 34 millimeter stroke. A lot of power can be made with that stroke, and you know, 32 millimeter stroke. I mean, clearly you can make power. You know, Charlie Briscoe's made it a lot. I believe the Echo 4910 has a 32 millimeter stroke. Matt House, look at his John Sured 2152. Hell, I did a 2152 with 32 millimeter stroke, and that thing ran blazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can make power with that, but more stroke is better. That's it. You know. It gives you more displacement. 45 millimeters, 34 millimeter stroke. That combination gives you just, I think it's 54.75. I think that's what it is. It's just under 55 cc's, which will be right there at the limit for what Sawfest has for their smaller saws. And yeah, I want to get something like this to work on it. This is a big Tillotson. This was meant for the L65 and L77. It has a pretty small venturi, but it's definitely going to be able to flow more than the one that was stock for the Weimars, you know. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but it's there. And we don't want to be huge, right? I think that'll be just right, honestly. Just got to figure out how to make that work, and I think we can figure something out. What do you guys think? Throttle's on a different side. Not a lot of room in there to fit that big old carb, you know. I could do it up like that and make a big long intake tube. I don't know. I don't want to do that. We'll see. Lots more to go on this. The 254 XP Zenoah clone. We'll see where it goes, if it goes anywhere.